Hey, okay.
All right. All right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. You are checking me out live on our daily update right here, Facebook, and on YouTube. I am your host, Jerry, and I'm just sitting here with my bottle of Poland Springs. And we're going to talk about some different topics tonight, and we have an interview coming up. As a matter of fact, our interview is on our video chat. David, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, Jerry? Good to see you. Good to see everyone, new viewers.
Okay. Um, hold on one second. All right. So, anyway, so briefly, so what's going on in the news today? All right. So, I just seen a report from New Jersey, actually from one of the reporters over at Fox 29, named Steve Keeley. Good reporter. He's been there for a long time, and he tweeted that the New Jersey actually just surpassed. I think it was 1,000 confirmed COVID-19 deaths. Now, here's the thing with that. They said that there's an average of like X amount per day. And you got to kind of pay attention when they say average, meaning they're taking the whole and they're saying, well, it's probably probability over this time. And a lot of times they're saying probable COVID-19 deaths, meaning that they're not actually confirmed. So we got a lot of cases, and I've actually been hearing recently that there's been a lot of families who've been fighting with the hospitals because the hospitals are trying to declare the deaths of their loved ones as COVID-19, and in some instances, it was the underlying condition and had nothing to do with the COVID-19. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research. I'm gonna, find out a little bit more and, you know, see what's going on with that, and I'll report on it. So
Okay.
let's go to David right now, and I wanted to know what David's thoughts are about that. Where they're saying that it's like 1,000 now over in Jersey.
Um, well, what I have to say about it, Jerry, in a way I do believe it because everybody's not going to do what they're supposed to do. And because it's getting warmer outside and people want to go out and, enjoy the weather and stuff like that, which if they do not follow what's going on and be mindful of what's going on, it's going to be more deaths and more need for hospitals to open up more beds for the sick people. And it's just, I think it's going to just really spiral into the wrong direction. It's not going to really get better. But for me, it's kind of hard because I'm like, well, how do you, when they saying it's going to be ending in a month or so, I'm like, well, what happens with all the people if things open up? If operations and businesses open up, what happens with the people that don't know or the carriers? So it makes you kind of wonder if it's going to ever really get better, or is this just going to be something we're going to all be doing, wearing masks for the rest of whatever? And I
Well,
do believe about the
oh, go ahead.
10,000. I mean, what you said, 1,000 in Jersey?
Yeah, 1,000. Now they're saying averaged out to X amount. So I don't think the numbers are 100% exact.
Uh,
So, but I noticed something. Right now we do have other areas in different states that are opening up, and they're finding that, with the mask, the gloves, and the social distancing, it's working. So I think, we may find out later on that all we had to do to begin with was just do what we're doing now, and
Right.
everything made me not have to be shuttered. But I understand that everybody kind of just panicked and nobody knew what to do. But I see again that the procedures that are being put in place are working in other areas, and I think they'll work here.
Yeah, I believe in that too. If everybody do what they supposed to do, I believe it that everything will go in the right direction. So I agree what you're saying, and maybe those numbers don't add up.
Well, I'm
But
waiting to get the numbers. I'm waiting to actually get the numbers for our area, for Pennsylvania, in particular Philadelphia. Because during the summer, like you said, people are naturally outgoing. We naturally out want to go out, and I think that the social distancing, and you see people starting to rebel now in different areas. I know we just had a rally down here yesterday that they're trying to pressure the governor and the mayor to open up the businesses down here, and I think it's going to be kind of difficult to tell people when it's
oh yeah,
because right now it's kind of cold. But when it starts getting really nice shorts weather, it's going to be real
yeah,
hard to tell people to stay inside.
it really is. It really is. Even if they all have to go out and wear masks and try to figure out where they want to go. You're right.
Like you were saying, I think that is going to be the new normal. Masks,
Yeah. Yeah.
gloves, spraying everything down. And,
Yep.
I think one of the things, too, that we're starting to realize from this, because if you notice that the majority of deaths from COVID 19 were people that had underlying conditions. I myself do have an underlying condition, diabetes, so I would be more higher risk than another person. But I want to see if you agree with me. I think the takeaway that we can get from this is I noticed that people that have the stronger immune systems are the ones that, even if they get it, they end up recovering. And I think the takeaway from this is that we really need to get our health in order. We really
Yeah.
need to be building up our immune system, strengthening our bodies, and doing other things, because that's how viruses and diseases are fought off, is by having a strong immune system.
I agree with that, and a lot of that has to do with the good foods, fast foods that's been out here that you can just go and buy whenever you want. And it's sad though because they make food look so good. It just tempts people to do more, of the eating of foods that really aren't really good for the body. But then they say, well, I'm gonna exercise or I'm gonna drink my ginger or you know what I'm saying, or that apple cider vinegar and get better. But then they go back the next moment or day and do it again. It's like kind of sad to me when I see that, and it is like you said, the takeaway being, what you said it was about the people that have those different illness and stuff like that, because only because of what I hear on the news is more of them, unfortunately is sad, passing or the immune system isn't strong enough and they get sicker or sicker, but you just never know. You just never know. It's one of those top stories where you never know. Miracles do happen. Some people will come out of it, and some people may not be
Yeah,
so
it's
fortunate.
yeah, it's kind of weird because I've actually heard cases where you have young children that end up perishing, and then I've seen a case where a woman that was like almost 90 years old pulled through. So, again, it's just varies between different individuals. And I'm seeing something in the camera, and I don't. Oh, there we go. You're back on. So, um, okay. So we have Mr. Van Stone, and he's
Hey,
joining
man.
us right now. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
this,
good.
this is what I was talking to David about. The report, there was a report that came out that New Jersey, the Garden State, surpassed, I guess, 1,000 deaths from COVID-19. I think it was either one. I hope it wasn't 100,000. I think it was 1,000. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. But what I was talking to him about was, I think the takeaway from this is I noticed that a lot of the people who recovered, well, a lot of the people who perished, I'll say, were very had underlying conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, and so forth. And I think the takeaway from this is that we all need to really strengthen our health, our bodies, our immune systems, and so forth, because that's the easiest way. That's the best way, actually, is to fight off diseases and viruses. Is to have a good immune system. Would you agree with that, Van?
Yes, I do agree. And welcome everybody. It's 7:39, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Beautiful day here in Philly, just so going around as I always do. I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. And of course, it's Philly Farm Radio and WBSR. So, we are just doing fine and jumping into the conversation. As you can see, if you can see me, I just came from outside. So I have the mask, which this is the norm now. This is what you have to do. But I got a stylish thing. It's not the Van Stone mask, which I was trying to promote. But it is similar, like the Van Stone mask, where it could be colorful. And you put it over here. But it's a multi-purpose, mask. So you can pull it up. You can wear it around your neck, just in case you're a little older and you don't want people to see, you got little wrinkles on the throat. Or, if you just want to be cool or whatever. But it's pretty much the norm now, having your mask. That being said, I always bounce around before I answer the question directly, Jerry. But, yes, the underlying conditions, the physical situations, is something that you can't control. So it's best, of course, to do all your exercise and stay in shape if you can. Mm-hmm. But, of course, even doing all of that, some of the most healthy people still fall victim to the COVID-19 because we don't know what's happening in the internal. So you have internal medicine and you have external medicine. The best thing we can do is what's called external medicine. That means you're not taking any medications, but you can adjust yourself through exercises and also sort of like the chiropractic care where you can make different adjustments physically, through your spine and so forth and so on, through massages, acupuncture, a host of other things which are in external medicine, and they will help build up as best you can internally with your oxygen and your blood. Finally, just so I can explain, once again, this is a disease that's not airborne, but it's taken through the air. Airborne is, for an example, is just stuff that's just everywhere in the air. Naturally, it just, it happens in the air. This can travel because of the air. So luckily, it's not an organism that it's, that's alive with a measure of intelligence, such as a worm. If you get a tapeworm, you could be playing in the dirt that look as clean as possible. But those tapeworms are so small that if you touch your face, you got a little dirt on your hands, and you know how you rub your eyes or whatever, your mouth, you put that worm inside your system, and then it can actually begin to travel wherever and kill you. It will then grow, multiply, and eat organisms, inside. So, but this here is not that. It just, when it gets into a certain person, here's the other thing too. I think, just in case for our viewers, you know me, Jerry, you know me, David. Mm-hmm. That's the way I have to do it. I have to really give them the real information. So we do have a powerful natural protective mechanism. Our skin is a natural protective mechanism. We have pores, but most of the time your pores are not open. This is very interesting. Mm-hmm. Only when we produce a certain internal thing is when your pores open up and get rid of waste. It's amazing. If our pores were open all the time, guess what? None of us couldn't even take a bath. Because if we got in the water, as soon as you took a bath with just a little bit of water, we would drown because all that water would go right inside of us. So the body is amazing. That's what it's about. So to get rid of things That's why exercise is so important, because when you sweat, it eliminates those things. But this virus is so strong that even the maximum amount of exercise is not enough to get rid of it. So I just thought I wanted to share that point. And just tie in, I don't know if you guys talked about the positive today, the excitement of what we were doing with entertainment and music. I'm throwing it back to you, Jerry and David.
Well,
you guys get into that yet?
Well, we're going to get into that. I'm going to take a small break
Okay.
very quickly. And I want to re-announce that coming up after Tuesday's Talk Live show with Van Stone, we have a new show coming up on Philly Funk TV and radio. And that will be called the APX Playhouse, featuring the husband and wife Atlanta-based group, the APX, consisting of Dawn and D and Rhodes. And that will be Tuesday after our show. So I'm going to give you a little preview of that, and then we'll come back and we'll resume right here on Philly Funk Radio. Wrong one. Hold on. All right. Technical error. All right. Let's go to it now.
What up, Funk Bots? Welcome to the APX Playhouse.
With D&E
We're going to be talking music,
and all things D&E.
relationships.
See you guys soon. And
Stay funky.
And remember, that's the APX Playhouse. That will be starting Tuesday right here on Philly Funk Radio and Philly Funk Television, as well as Power WVSR 1360. So, earlier today, we were out, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. David Anthony, who is actually on the line with us now. And I'm going to let David tell you what he does, but I'm gonna run the interview actually. So we're gonna run this very quickly if I could find it, and we're gonna go now. All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are checking out Philly Funk Radio, Philly Funk TV, and of course Power WVSR. And we are here live and local. And standing next to me, we have Mr. David Anthony, aka Mickey J. And I wanted to ask him real quick, because some of you guys, our Philly Funk Radio people may not know exactly who David, aka Mickey J, is. So I wanted to ask you, give him a little history of who you are and what you do.
Hi. Yeah, my name is David Mickey J. I am been ranked the #1 in the world by Michael and his people. And I come from a Thriller tour with Michael, but my tour was Thriller starring Mickey J, tribute to MJ. So that's the past, and this is the present. So I'm still doing it because of demand. So can't stop until I drop. So
Okay. Well, from
Yeah.
what I understand, you do a couple of different people, in addition to, of course, Michael Jackson. What other personalities do you do?
Oh, you know what, Jerry? Talking about personalities. Oh, I was just told that my main guy, Little Richard, passed today. That is a hurt piece because I was supposed to meet him one day from my mom. But it's all good. Rest in peace, Little Richard. But he's one person that I've done, different plays. They added me or shows as Little Richard. And I might come with a tribute to him for all of you. So that's to be expected. And then I've done like many other plays, theatrical plays, theatrical plays. And we traveled like different high schools, elementary schools, and coming together to help. That was like a professional children play that we did with John Collier. And then I did some other plays, a whole lot of different plays that, I was asked to do.
So you've actually toured worldwide, haven't you?
Yeah, I was
How is it? How is it touring worldwide and interacting with the fans and so forth?
a lot of work because we had like an entourage of almost 30 people where we had, I've been there, done it with that part of my life, and I did everything but even did a CD, couple, but it was stopped because, and I'm not going to say, but my CDs were stopped, and I worked with Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff in their studio, and Tep Edwards in his studio, but the CDs were stopped, and so I did that, and then I did it was fun being on tour, a lot of hard work, because we worked 6 days a week, Sunday off, so we traveled the city, state, town, country, and I had my time out there. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy that a lot.
All right. So if the fans, as well as our audience or the WVSR audience, if they would like to see you in action, how could they get in contact with you? How could they see your work?
Well, right now, they can see me with the David Anthony page. It'll have contact information and all the different phone numbers and videos and stuff like that.
And so would that be Facebook?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, the Facebook. I have yet to put a new Instagram and Twitter because all my other pages are coming down for uncertain reasons. So, we're trying to do something new, something better. And, we got just different things that we're going to be doing.
Okay, so we're gonna do this again next week, and hopefully David could actually grace us with some of his dance moves, and we could actually see him in action. Thank you for joining us, David, and thank you for watching this evening, right here at Philly Funk Radio, Power WVSR. Thank you. All right, we're back. I apologize. It was a little dragging going on there from the computer, but hey. Anyway, we're back right here, Power WVSR, Philly Funk Radio. By the way, I would like to give a shout out to one of our viewers watching right now, Mr. Michael Green. He's checking us out right now live on Facebook. Hey, all right. How you doing? So let's go back. All right. So, David, is there anything that you would like to bring up as a topic tonight?
Well, for myself, I'm just excited that I'm doing some new projects and bringing it, out, and been working on it, and I promised everybody that I would bring some new things to the table. And I'm just, happy to, say that, the things to come are going to be, some surprises, and it's going to, be a feel-good thing. And we're going to all enjoy what's to come and, just take it from there. That's a positive aspect concerning mine. That's something I wanted to say to the interview earlier that took place.
Okay. All right. Well, again, we're going to have you back on next week. And remember, we're going to get you to do some dancing. I think that's going to be interesting. You know what? If you get up there, I think I might actually dance with you.
Hey, that's right.
I think that would be good. All right, Van, what's going on tonight?
Well, I just wanted to mention, based on what was done today, that was in the Van Stone International House for Arts and Education. That's been our project, our building. We've been there going on 2 years. And hopefully we'll get the same location here in West Philadelphia, 5150 Walnut Street, second floor. If we don't continue at that location past August, and based on what's going on with COVID-19, it basically, this virus has just affected everything. So even if it's not just money or food, but it's also production. So we just want all the listeners and viewers to know, especially those in Philadelphia and our Black Philadelphians, we've been here for you, and we've had basically this production, this program, and this building for entertainment, education, and also, so many available projects that we've been working on. So again, if you're a community and a small business, again, some people who are doing small business, they probably were just getting on their feet. We have been doing business since 1980 officially. I've been working in the field as a young man. Boy, man, I could say at least 16, being honest, where I've been doing my own business professionally. And so after all these years, here it is, 2020, I'm about to be 58. And I would have never thought that after all the years and the hard work of working since I was 14, coming up to age 58, that even what I have done as a working person, being in the workforce, it just has come to a halt. So it can happen to anybody. And that's why we do the health, we do the finance, and we do the consumer report with this, so we try to tie it in. So my message is, if you're having a hard time, a rocky time, as most people are when it comes to business, don't give up. We are still active. We'll find a way. And you too, don't give up on what you're doing. Bringing this back in to David Anthony, he's been doing his business for a long time. And as an artistic professional who's doing, impersonation, I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. He is David Anthony, the face behind the mask, which is really a nice promotion. He's been doing that for a while. So now I just thought it would be, really, really great timing for him to let people see the face behind the mask. And of course, his skills are, I didn't do the interview, as you can see, but, if I would have been doing the interview, I would have been reminding of all the different the tools he used. Little Richard, when it comes to theater, again, condolences to Little Richard. We lost him today. If it wasn't already said, I'm just bringing it again because I just came in, guys, as you know. Michael Jackson, again, the late great. So we have David Anthony, who can also pull that off and do some of the impersonation with him. And then also, my goodness, Brandon Lee, if you remember, the son of Bruce Lee, who was most famously for his last film, or next to last film, you movie buffs will get it right, The Crow. Just fantastic. So because of the fact that David Anthony has these skills, it's amazing. He's been with us here in Philadelphia. He's traveled about doing these things, and he has talent in singing, some martial arts as well. So just to be able to play these roles and to really be able to do those things in real life is amazing. Now there's another interview you did today. I'm going to guess, Jerry, you'll show that either another time or later, where David did solo.
We're not really at liberty to bring that up right now.
Oh, okay, no problem. I wasn't sure if you was going to show it today or later or whatever.
I did want to speak briefly about you saying that, about not giving up in the perseverance. And, I could attest to that. Both of us could attest to that, because you and I, in particular, have known each other going on 21 years. We've been doing this radio, television, internet. And I'm sure you remember when we first met, I was working in the basement of a room in the house, basically editing videos and doing so forth, and it's taking us up to this point to get where we are. And that's why I agree with you when you say don't give up, don't quit. You got to put in your work, and you got to put in them hours to actually get to a skill level. And I think even you talked about nearing basically almost 60. You said you're 58. I'm 45 right now. I'm pushing 50 myself. So, I think it's, like I said, putting in that time, putting in that effort to your craft, your skill, because, everybody has a talent, something that they were born to do. And, just don't give up. If you really believe it, don't give up.
Okay. So that's why we're being positive. You said show some positive things, and this is a great time to just let everyone know, especially young and old, that we are still able. If we're able, we're going to still do it. And I was going to talk about some other people in the entertainment field, but we'll focus on us right now. Just for now, not being selfish, because we always help so many people. So there's nothing wrong with being selfish at the right time, and that's the same thing with pride too. So if you have a balance, you have to have self-preservation as well with talent. So I'm excited. I'm just excited about the projects we're going to be working on, pushing David Anthony, and there's a Facebook page, David Anthony, that's going to highlight much of his things. We got the YouTube channel, which is Power WVSR YouTube. We got WPMR-DB. YouTube. I mean, there's so much, and trying to remember all the things and projects that we do. So, boy, this is what I have to say. It's a great day, and we just want to keep the positive going.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to add.
All right, we're about to close out. David, is there anything you would like to say before we go?
Just love everybody and stay safe, and you all have a wonderful weekend, and we're looking forward to everything. Stay strong.
Okay, well, thank you, David and Van, for joining us as always, and we're about to go. So you've been watching our daily update. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. We're trying to do this every night, but of course that doesn't happen sometimes. Our schedules get tied up or whatnot. So anyway, thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening.